Time I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody and I realize that they don't actually believe in inherent human rights for every single person, that's when I realize that there is no productive conversation that will ever happen with them, because it's ridiculous that I have to sit here and try to explain to you, like you are a toddler, why you should have empathy and why you should believe in basic human rights for all people.
Who you can't reason with are people who shut down all debate by insisting that their policy preferences are human rights. Virtually everyone believes in equal rights. It's a complete red herring to claim that people don't believe in equal rights just because they don't agree with your mischaracterization of what constitutes a right. When you say inherent right, by definition you are talking about an entitlement possessed by every individual just by virtue of them being alive. So most people would agree that includes the right to life. You have the inherent right not to be killed by others. Most people agree that includes a right to liberty. You have the right to live your life as you choose, as long as you don't interfere with the equal right of others. And most people agree that includes the right to the fruits of your labor. If you create something, you should have the right to own and control your creation, unless you agree to voluntarily provide it to someone else. The key to these inherent rights is that they require nothing of others, except that they leave you alone. In essence, for something to be an inherent right, it needs to exist if you are alone in a forest with nobody else around. It is a right to be free from force, coercion, and violence by others. There can be no inherent right in something which requires anyone else to provide you with something. So healthcare is not a right. That does not mean that as a society we shouldn't implement policies to provide for healthcare. It just means that nobody has an inherent right to force somebody else to provide them with healthcare. Housing is not a right. That does not mean that as a society we shouldn't implement policies to provide for housing. It just means that nobody has an inherent right to force somebody else to build them a house. And the real harm in calling these rights is that it implies that people have an entitlement to these things from society without having any corresponding obligation to contribute to society. But that is the social contract, an agreement that we will all contribute. If you want others in society to provide you with healthcare and to provide you with housing, then you need to contribute as well by helping to produce a good or service that benefits others. And the vast majority of people agree that society should have safety nets in place to support people who want to contribute but are facing temporary or unexpected hardship. But what makes it so hard to justify and get support for a lot of these programs are people like you, who believe that they're simply entitled to be given what others need to work hard for, using money taken from these hardworking people by the government, while not seeing yourself as owing any obligation to anyone else.